For generations, we have believed in a story that progress is endless, that the economy must always grow, that more is always better. But today, that story is collapsing, and with it, one of the greatest illusions of our time. I am George's Salmon, and this is The Collapse, Episode 2, the end of the myth of infinite growth. It all began with a promise that growth would bring prosperity, comfort, and peace, that industrial progress would elevate humanity, and for a while it did. But that promise became a poison. Factories multiplied, cities grew. The world became addicted to speed, to profit, to production. We built a civilization where value is measured by consumption, where the worth of a human being depends on what they own. And yet, we forgot a simple truth. You cannot serve two masters. Growth became our new religion. The market became our God. And now we worship it, even as it destroys us. Every percentage of growth leaves a wound behind. Forests erased, oceans poisoned, species vanished, workers drained of life. We produce mountains of waste, while billions live with almost nothing. We build skyscrapers that touch the sky, while families sleep in their cars. We celebrate the latest iPhone, while children dig cobalt with their bare hands in Congo. That is the truth behind the myth. We call it progress, but it's decay. A silent spiritual collapse disguised as success. We are the first civilization to die of abundance. In the richest nations, depression and loneliness are spreading faster than any virus. We are drowning in possessions, yet starving for purpose. We have conquered the stars, but we've lost our inner light. Technology made us powerful, but not wise. We scroll, we buy, we compete. But we no longer live. We mistake distraction for joy. And we call exhaustion success. The myth of infinite growth promised happiness, but it delivered emptiness, because it tried to replace the soul with the market. And no economy can fill the void of a silent spirit. Even the prophets of economics now admit it. Growth is slowing down, and it will not return. Why? Because the earth itself is tired. The soil is dying. The oceans are suffocating. Debt has devoured the future. Inequality has destroyed trust. The youth no longer believe in the old dream. They don't want to own more. They want to feel more. They don't crave expansion. They crave meaning. The old system is collapsing, not because it failed economically, but because it failed spiritually. Like Babylon, it rose in pride, and now it falls in silence. But collapse is not the end. It is the beginning of awareness. When the noise of consumption fades, we can finally hear the voice of truth. A post-growth world is not a world of poverty. It is a world of balance. It's about producing less, but better. Living simpler, but deeper. Measuring success not in dollars, but in peace, knowledge, and compassion. True wealth has never been material. It is found in wisdom, gratitude, and connection. The new age will belong to those who remember that the soul has value beyond price. This change doesn't start in governments or markets. It starts in the human heart. You don't need to be an economist. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to open your eyes. Question what you were taught as success. Reduce your dependence on the system. Reconnect with what truly matters. Faith, family, community, peace. The collapse of the world outside is an invitation to rebuild the world inside. The noise will end, but the spirit will rise again. We are witnessing the death of an illusion, but also the birth of something sacred. The end of the myth of infinite growth is not the end of humanity. It's the return to truth. Out of the ruins of greed, a new kind of richness will emerge, not built on ownership, but on awareness, not on domination, but on humility, not on consumption, but on connection. And you are part of that awakening. The story of infinite growth is over. The new story begins within you. Don't fear the collapse. Embrace it as the divine correction of a lost world. Because from the ashes of excess rises the wisdom of simplicity. I am George's Salmon, and this was episode 2, the end of the myth of infinite growth. The collapse is not destruction. It is revelation, and those who understand it will rebuild the world differently. Subscribe to The Collapse, because the next episode will go deeper. Why institutions lost their soul. And remember, those who still listen are the ones who will make the difference.